Well, hello Stampers, this is Kate with Kate's Creations, here to share a video with you. I'm making a couple of cards using products from the current Stampin' Up! Catalogs, and it's been a while. I ran into some problems with my software and I couldn't get it to work, and my editing program and everything, so it's been a while, but I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So the first card we're going to make today is this one. It's got a foil there, you can see the glimmer in the back. And this is using the Wonderful World Stamp Set and Designer Series papers that come in the current Celebration catalog. And it's a set that's free with a $100 purchase from any current catalog. So you purchase $100 in merchandise, you can get this package for free. And let me tell you, the stamps are beautiful, but the DSP is just out of this world. These pictures are just, I mean, these patterns are just so beautiful. If I have enough orders, I'm just going to keep ordering this because I just love these colors and these patterns, and I think you will too. So I encourage you to consider that if you have some things that you need, that you place a $100 order. And of course, I'd love to have you order through me and my online store, which the link will be below in the video, but in the comments section or whatever. So anyway, that's what I used to do this. Let me show you how we did it. It's pretty simple. I primarily used the Wonderful World, as I said. I'm also using the Stylish Shapes dies. I used the third largest circle for this circle, and I used one of the banners for the sentiment. Then I used the Go-To Greetings. Again, this is a stamp set that no matter what, it's a keeper. It's timeless. It's got timeless sentiments in all different sizes, and it's just wonderful. This is what I used for my sentiment. And then this is split card texture dies, and it's new with this year's catalog. And I'm using this one, and these are going to be fun. This is the first time I've used it, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use. So that's what I'm using to make the card. And let's make the card. This is a piece of basic white thick, 5.5 by 8.5. We're folding it at 4 1/4, and we'll find my bone folder, and we will burnish that fold. Now, then I cut a piece of the Designer Series paper, 4 by 5 1/4, and I also cut a piece of adhesive sheet, 4 by 5 1/4, and I attached it to the back of this so that when we peel it off and stick it down to the card, it will be much easier than trying to get glue on this really delicate part here. Now behind this piece is another piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, and this is a piece of foil, as you can see. I honestly cannot remember where this foil came from. I thought it was current, but I don't think it is now that I looked through all my catalogs trying to find where it was. So I apologize for that, but we do have a lot of other foils that you could use, the gold and the silver and different things, and so your background might be different, but for mine, this is what I'm using today. And then, of course, I'm using the Old Olive ink and the Orchid Oasis ink, and this is the Orchid Oasis ribbon. Okay, so it's pretty simple. First of all, I'm going to put this piece onto this piece. Now, this one I'm doing with a different orientation, just because I wanted to see what it looked like. Here you can see I put the pattern this way, and on this one I'm going to have the pattern be this way, and it has to be this way because of the orientation of the DSP, right? So I'm going to put this on here first, and so I just need to get this pulled up here, get the adhesive backing sheet to come up. Go. So we'll get that pulled off very carefully. There we go. And that's going to stick on here. Doesn't really matter, but let's do it like this. And I'm going to line up this one corner first and just barely touch the corner. Let's get that out of the way. And come over to that corner. Then that should lay down perfectly straight, and it did. All right, that's what I like to see. And that's the right way up. Okay, so there's that. Then I'm going to attach this to the card front, and it's just going on flat with Stampin' Seal. Get my Stampin' Seal handy here. Put a little extra in the center because this is that foil, and sometimes it doesn't want to stick as well as regular papers. Okay, then this is the card front, and so it leaves an 1/8 inch border all the way around because of it being the size I cut it, 4 by 5 1/4. So I'll lay it down. Once I get those 3 sides in place, the rest kind of just falls into place. There we go. Okay, then I could have very easily stamped this flower onto this piece, but I wanted it to have just, I don't know, I just wanted it to stand out a little bit more. So I stamped it and cut it out. And the way I stamped this flower is I used sponge daubers, and I turned the stamp over and I just sponge daubed the leaves and sponge daubed the flower with Old Olive and Orchid Oasis, stamped it, and then cut it out. And I'm going to just attach that with one of my Zig 2-way glue pins. And just kind of center it on there. And then this is going to go on with dimensionals. Find my dimensionals, here they are. And I put 4 of them on there. I'm looking around for my ribbon while I'm doing this, and I'm going, oh, I think I put my ribbon away. That's okay, we'll get it out here. And anyway, I felt bad that I couldn't get some videos made, but an update happened on the computer, and gosh, I think you know how that goes. So then on this one, it was kind of more primarily out in here, but here I'm going to do it more kind of in the center like this. So every card's a little bit different, right? And then I also did the sentiment, and I stamped it ahead of time with the Orchid Oasis and then punched it out with the die from the Stylish Shapes dies. And I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that, just like this. And I think I'll put it right there. And there's that, and then it's just a matter of the bow, and here's my ribbon. So you know how I make my bows. I just make a loop in this finger and a loop in that, cross them over, bring it through, pull it tight. And I'm going to shrink them way down. I always cut more than I need. Basically, I just don't like to fight with the ribbon, so a little bit of a sacrifice of the ribbon doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, you can always cut less, but I cut about a 10-inch piece. Excuse me, a 10-inch piece to start. Okay, and then I just need a glue dot to attach that little bow to my flower. And I kind of wadded it up in a little knot so it won't stick out from behind the thing and stick to the envelope when you put it in the envelope. And there's that card using that set. So, and as a bonus, I have a second one for you in this video today, and that is going to be this card. Okay, so now again I started with let's see what I used for this one. Again, it's the Wonderful World Designer Series papers. The the same dies, the same go-to greetings for the sentiment, and the Wonderful World DSP. And the colors used here are the pretty, let's see, Parakeet Party and Orchid Oasis. And I just liked the green accents. I thought they were really pretty. And then I'm using the Pretty Flowers embossing folder for this one, putting some dots on there, matte dots. And I used the deckled rectangles for this sentiment piece as well. And the postage stamp punch. Get this glare out of there. Postage stamp punch. So, let me show you how I cut these out. These are cut out from this DSP that's in the package. And what I did is, the rows are too close together to like do this one and then do that one with this particular punch. So what I did is I cut off a 1 5/8 inch off the bottom, and I have the strip here so you can see. I just cut this off, and then that puts me in a position to punch these out with the postage stamp punch. And of course you can just turn it over and kind of center your flower. My hand to settle down here. And punch it out. And of course, every time you do it, you're going to get a different flower. And then you can use them for different projects. So, see how simple that is. We have enough flowers, so I'm going to stop there. And we'll pick which ones we're going to use. Got lots of different ones here. I'll be using them on some other projects as well. Lots of purple ones. But I only need 3, so that's okay. Okay. So, base card is the basic white thick, 5.5 by 8.5, scored a 4 1/4, folded and burnished, just like that. Now, I've already cut and embossed these pieces. These are, the first one is the Parakeet Party, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. And then this piece is 3 7/8 by, I have to think. You know, it's down just 1/8 of an inch. So this one is to 5 1/8. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then I embossed it using that embossing folder. I'm going to attach these to each other just flat with Stampin' Seal. And as I said, it's just a 1/16 of an inch border now. Very, very narrow border, but I just loved the way that green made it stand out. Just really looks good. And then this is going to go onto the card front, again with just Stampin' Seal. I want to thank all of you that have subscribed to my channel, and I thank you for sharing, making sure I got my card right side up. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate you sharing my channel with other people. I've got a little over 400 subscribers, which is kind of fun. I mean, I love to share what I do, so that's really cool. Okay, so there's that. And then I just need to pick 3 of these designs. I think I'll do this one, and this one. Get some different ones in here. These are all going to go on with dimensionals, so I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of those. I'm going to have to get out a few more because I think I'm going to run out on this sheet. Save those edges for other projects. There's one. 2. Like I say, I'll save those edges for another project. Sometimes I need to cut things down, and the edges work good for that. Okay, so I got my things on there. Now I'm going to kind of dry fit before I peel the sticky off, because I want to kind of get them lined out not perfectly, but as close as I can to what it's going to be when it's done. I think it needs to go like that just a little bit. That looks pretty darn good. So I'll leave those two like that. That'll give me some guideline to go by. And I finally got smart and put a little trash thing on my desk. This is a thing I made with my Glowforge. And I used stamps from Stampin' Up, stamped them and brought them into my Glowforge and etched them or engraved them into the wood and then put it together. Isn't that cute? Just so fun. And it becomes a really nice little trash bin on my desk. So, okay, and then I'm going to lay it down pretty lightly at first. That looks good. Press. Okay, next one. I'll get these. I always put a trash bin out at my workshops, you know, two little bowls on the table and that people can throw their stuff in. And why I never thought to do it on my own work surface. Oh God, I go, okay, that's a good idea. Okay, there's number 2. And then we'll get number 3 on here. And that looks good. Okay, I'm going to stamp the Thinking of You from the Go-To Greetings with the Parakeet Party ink. And I'm going to try and get it centered. I didn't last time. I did want it to the higher side, but centered from left to right. That doesn't look too bad. I think I'll stick with that. Put the ink away. And then this is going to go on with dimensionals as well. Pretty simple card using that DSP and just made lovely with the background. The floral background does seem to have a little bit of orientation to it, but once you put everything on, it's not going to cause a visual issue, I don't think, if it isn't the same way. And then I brought in those matte dots. What did I do with those? There they are. These are the new In Colors matte decorative dots of the new In Colors. So I was using the Parakeet Party ones, and I just created this little thing. I don't know what to call it. That little thing. And so I just picked what I thought was the center. I put one there. And of course you could just put random ones around. You don't have to do what I'm doing. It's totally up to you. That's what's so fun about stamping and seeing other people's projects, is that a lot of times it just inspires us to try something of our own. You know, to change it up just a little bit and do our own thing. So that's what they mean when they talk about copy and share everything. You just, I'll put that third one right down there, is you use other people's ideas for inspiration, and then you make it your own by changing up the colors or a little bit of the design or whatever. And that's what I did for that card. So welcome back. Glad you visited me. I hope you enjoyed today's cards. Let me know what you think of them by leaving me a comment. I love to hear your comments, and I hope you have a wonderful day.